Miyang henerasyon ayaw magpababa ng pamatayanan ng henerasyon ayaw magpababa ng pamantayan. Naniniwala kami sa isang malinaw na prinsipyo. Ang public office ay public trust. Ang kapangyarihan ay hiniram sa bayan. Hindi ito pag-aari, minana o pinalulusutan. Tinatanggihan namin ang korupsyon, katahimikan at ganito na talaga. Pinipili namin ang katotohanan kaysa palusot at pananagutan kaysa kasikatan. Magtatanong kami, makikialam kami, mananagot ang may sala kahit sino pa sila. Walang untouchable, walang dahilan, walang lusot.
Sa gitna ng umiinit na usapin sa politika, isang mahalagang tanong ang haharapin. May probable cause nga ba sa impeachment laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte? Sa darating na talakayan dito sa The Agenda Forum, susuriin natin ang legal at politikal na aspeto ng ating mga panauhin, hihimayin natin ang ebidensya, ang proseso at ang implikasyon nito sa ating demokrasya. Sa huli, ang tanong, katotohanan ba ang politika ang nangingibabaw? Alamin natin dito sa The Agenda Forum.
Meron po bang probable cause? Ano po bang ibig sabihin ng probable cause? Especially in light of the ongoing impeachment proceedings against our VP Sara Duterte. Magandang araw, magandang oras po sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Attorney Fred Mison, ang inyong moderator dito sa The Agenda at Tribute Hotel. This program is brought to you by Impact Publishing in cooperation with EFG Consulting Incorporated. Today, I promise you we will have a very interesting and perhaps the most exciting for this year, given the panel of our resource speakers. Fireworks or no fireworks, masaya po tayo ngayong araw. And without further ado, allow me to introduce our guest today. To my left, he is the deputy spokesperson for the Partido Demokratiko Pilipino. He is the managing partner of Topacio Law Office. He is a veteran litigator and the country's most visible legal figures in high-profile and politically sensitive cases. Allow me to introduce to you Attorney Ferdy Topacio. Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
And to my right, convener of Clergy for Good Governance, often referred to as the running priest. Pare, nakulong, mahilig sa protesta, at hindi natatakot. He has been actively involved in various civic and religious movements that promote transparency, human rights, and ethical leadership. Welcome po to our show, Father Robert Reyes.
Thank you po.
And finally, mainstay na po natin dito, ang ating legal counsel and constitutional expert and convener of Artikulo 11. He is a respected lawyer in legal research, public policy, and governance issues, and been actively involved in discussions and initiatives related to constitutional accountability, particularly impeachment processes in the Philippines. Welcome to our show, Attorney J.V. Bautista.
Good morning, and thank you for having me here with this very colorful gentleman.
Okay. Before we proceed to our colorful discussion, unahin na po natin. Siguro, Attorney Ferdy, ikaw mauna. Please enlighten our viewers and listeners. Ano po ba talaga ang probable cause? Based on your legal expertise. What is this probable cause all about?
Thank you, Panyero. First of all, before I proceed, I'd like to make a minor correction. I'm no longer the managing partner of Topacio Law Office. I'm the senior partner. The day-to-day affairs have been left to another partner, Attorney Joselito Lumangaya. Because between my duties as PDP deputy spokesman and my other duties, including making movies, I have little time left for actual law practice.
Well, abogado na, artista pa. Go ahead, sir.
By the way, I'd like to plug one of my movies, Mama Sapano, is still streaming on Netflix. This is about the SAP 44. This is a movie that has earned 12 trophies from various award-giving bodies for cinematic excellence, including Metro Manila Film Festival and the Star Awards. So, pasensya na sa plug, ha?
No problem, sir. Let's
Kasi-
go back. to
Anyway,
our
going back, yes. So,
probable cause.
sorry, I digress, but probable cause, as any practicing lawyer knows, is evidence that will persuade a reasonable person to conclude that that the respondent or the accused is probably guilty of an offense, although other minds equally reasonable may conclude otherwise. That's the simplest term that I can reduce it to. Doon po sa pamilyar sa inyo sa proceeding sa piskal, yun lamang po ang hinihiling kapag may proceeding sa prosecution. Magka merong complaint affidavit, the prosecutor has the option of either dismissing it outright, for instance, prescribed, or it does not state a crime, or none of the one or all of the elements are absent. If there is ground to make the respondent answer, he is subpoenaed and required to present a counter affidavit. And then, depending on the prosecutor and, of course, the complainant, whether he or she submits a reply, there will be a rejoinder. And the prosecutor, usually, around 90% of the time, will just base the determination of probable cause on those 2 or 4 documents as the case may be, unless there are clarificatory questions which do not occur all the time. In fact, I dare say that the clarificatory questions occur very rarely in the course of proceedings in the prosecution office.
Under the criminal-
Can I interject?
Dagdag ko lang para mas maliwanan ng konti. Doon sa criminal prosecution, you explained to us the definition of probable cause. Do you think, Attorney Ferdy, dito sa nangyayari sa impeachment proceedings, is there proper application of the determination of probable cause by the prosecutors? Kasi ang prosecutors, bali yung house eh. Sa tingin niyo ba, tama ba yung prosesong ginagawa? Na you said clarification hearings not required, but at the same time, hindi naman bawal.
Hindi bawal, pero we have to remember, okay, unang-una, I will no longer debate with anyone here as to whether or not there is probable cause. Kasi opinion nating lahat yun. And in the final analysis, it is up to the House committee. Okay? Ang akin lamang po ritong, kasi, pag dinabati natin itong probable cause, they say that it's an opinion, and an opinion is like an asshole. Everyone has one. Ang akin na lamang po, if probable cause is to be determined, kung probable cause lamang po ang i-determine, katulad ng sinabi ni Justice Ascuna, all you have to do is look at the documents attached to the impeachment complaint. May attachment po yun. The Vice President has submitted her answer. Sabi nga ni Justice Ascuna, if there are documents to be authenticated, you may subpoena those documents. If Madriaga has to verify or authenticate, again, under oath, his affidavits, he may be summoned. Pero there should not be a full-blown trial. Kasi nakalagay talaga ron sa rules, it's a hearing. And then sa akin po, baka sabihin kasi nila, bakit takot kami sa impeachment? Hindi po takot sa impeachment ang PDP. By the way, the stand of the PDP is supportive of the Vice President, just to be transparent. Ang amin po, kung tingin nila ay may probable cause at marami na namang ebidensya roon, i-transmit na sa Senado where the trial should forthwith commence. This is not the time and the place to be asking witnesses to read aloud their affidavits. Anyway, the contents of the affidavits are matters of record. This is not the time and the place to be televising these trials. Although okay lang naman televise, kaya lang para sa amin, double standard. Bakit yung trial ng House Committee televised, sabi nila, for transparency? Bakit yung ICI, yung Independent Commission for Infrastructure, isang hearing lang ang na live stream? Pagkatapos yung the rest, behind closed doors, kay Sandro Marcos, kay Martin Romualdez, puro behind closed doors. So, yun lamang po ang aming dinidenounce dito. They are using the hearings of the House Committee not to determine probable cause, but as a platform for a demolition job against the Vice President. So, alam nyo, some people will say otherwise. Huwag na tayong maglukuhan. Yun po ang ginagawa talaga. And the people are smart enough to know. So, kung medyo may hiya pang natitira itong mga majority ng committee members sa sarili nila, ay i-transmit na nila. Otherwise, go on. Wala namang makapipigil sa inyo eh. Pero, alam nyo po, you're not fooling a lot of people. You're only fooling yourselves. Thank you.
When,
Attorney JV,
Panyero,
mukhang nang gigigil ka na sa
when
rebatan.
you ask Attorney Topacio a question, you just ask one question. He will not stop. My good friend can articulate here for the rest of the day. Anyway, let me go into the question of probable cause. Kasi itinuturo ko yan in the College of Law where I was dean. Probable cause is also of constitutional origin, particularly in the issuance for a warrant of arrest. So probable cause the phrase appears in the Constitution because that is the standard for which a warrant of arrest can be issued.
Article 3.
Now, yes, Article 3. However, you can find probable cause also in the rules of criminal procedure in preliminary investigation. Before the amendments to the rules of criminal procedure, the standard for finding, to determine whether a criminal information will be filed in court is prima facie evidence. Now, prima facie is lower than probable cause. Probable cause is of higher standard than prima facie. And it is described by the rules of criminal procedure as follows. It has two elements. Number one, a crime has been committed. So, the investigator must determine first that there was a crime. Maliwanag na merong crime. Now, what the investigator will now determine is whether or not the respondent probably committed the crime. That is probable cause. Now, probable cause means only more likely than not he committed it. More likely than not. And therefore, it is not a finding of guilt. It is only a finding of probable cause. Now, probable cause can also be utilized by the police in warrantless searches.
Correct.
For example, if they see that there is probable cause. Now,
Let's focus on the impeachment.
Yes,
Attorney JV,
what I'm saying is this, Panyero, no?
Go ahead.
Probable cause is both of constitutional origin and really a criminal law concept. It is a criminal procedure concept. If you ask me, first of all, I'd like to correct you. I'm not really a constitutional law expert, but I do teach constitutional law.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't consider myself an expert. I lean on the views and opinions of former Chief Justice Renato Puno, who I consider to be the living and best constitutional law expert in the land today. I do not understand where the House Justice Committee plucked the concept of probable cause in determining whether to file the articles of impeachment or not. There is nothing in the Constitution that tells them you have to find probable cause before filing the articles of impeachment. However,
So in other words, I'll cut you short, Attorney JV. In other words, mali yung ginagawang proceeding sa House?
No, not
Because
necessarily.
probable cause as a term, as a criminal law
Criminal
and
law.
constitutional law term,
Yes.
wala doon sa House rules of impeachment?
I do not know about the House rules, but I do know that in the Constitution, you cannot find the requirement to find probable cause before the filing of the articles of impeachment. However, I must add this, and this is very important, Panyero. The Constitution grants to the House of Representatives the exclusive power to initiate impeachment. Diyan kami medyo, this is where I really do not agree with the decisions of the Supreme Court, when it struck down the articles of impeachment as null and void.
Last year.
I think it was a case of overreach. That's another issue. I think that the House, if it wants to impose on itself the standard of probable cause before it files the impeachment, that's its prerogative. Nobody can control the House. So we cannot say it's wrong. We can say that, it's not easy to understand where they got it. Maybe some lawyers there who are practicing litigators like Attorney Topacio and myself would say, hanapan na lang natin ang probable cause. But actually, to me, if you just ask my opinion, I think prima facie would be enough. And I'll explain later why, if you ask me.
Okay. Thank you for that clarity in terms of the differences between prima facie and probable cause. No? Having heard our experts in the law of the land, I'd like to hear from the law of the Lord. Ngayon, Father, sinabi nga ni Attorney Ferdy kanina, bakit naman parang double standard? Other proceedings, medyo transparent. Tulad dito sa House Committee ngayon, whereas doon sa ICI, hindi transparent. I think perhaps Attorney Ferdy would not disagree. How come doon sa impeachment complaint laban kay President BBM, walang gantong clarification hearing, pero kay VP Sara mukha yatang marami at mahaba. Pagdating po ba sa batas ng Panginoon, ano po ba dapat ang batayan before we can condemn any person? Before we can make a person accountable?